It's like Star Wars, the Sith. The apprentice is always striving to, hunger towards that. Hey everyone, I am John, the principal and co-founder here at Hatch2O, and today we have a very special guest.
My name is Siri. I'm the Associate Creative Director.
I view mentorship as something where you have to be very selective on because advice is very freely given, but it's not always good. I think learning is an evolution regardless, right? Learning is like this transitive thing that goes from person to person, generation to generation, and it's your responsibility to refine what you've been mentored, like as a mentee, right? You refine what you're being taught, and then you put your take on it, and then you try to pass it down, and then that legacy lives on through the person that you've passed it to, and then hopefully they've take their take on it, change it up, remix it a little bit, and then so on and so forth. So I think it's really just about making a lasting legacy of knowledge and impact. That's really what it's about, and improving the profession, improving way to do things. I felt like Siri was kind of like a mini-me, and I don't know, coincidentally we're both wearing beanies today. It's kind of funny. Very similar to like my mentality of just like, hey, you just get it done. Like it doesn't matter if you knew how to do it, you had the self-confidence, even for tasks that you may not have done yet, that you will figure out the answer.
I figured if you think that I could do it, I would just try it out.
I've actually never considered myself a mentor, really. I've been asked a lot of times from students in design school, hey, can you be my mentor? And frankly, like I never really feel like I have the time. When I saw Siri join, I was like, man, she kind of has it. Like she kind of has the killer instinct that I feel like I had. I'd always see her up late, so I was like, okay, well, she's up late working. I'll DM her and be like, hey, what are you working on? And I'll try to kind of give her tips on like how I would do it. We trusted that you could handle it.
The most important thing to note as a mentee, as someone looking to learn, looking to grow, is you're in charge of that learning, and it depends on your own goal and aspirations and how you best could achieve that. And if someone is willing to be your mentor, they're willing to get you through all of that and like bring you to where you want to be, because I think that is exactly what I felt happened with me and John. You have the control of where you want to go.
Add value if you're going to ask for mentorship, because I think like time is very scarce these days. So don't just go up and be like, LinkedIn, hey, can you be my mentor? Show some potential of where you're going to head so that the mentor feels like they can invest their time and knowledge into you and share those like inner secrets, so to speak. It's been really interesting and rewarding actually to see what you know yourself and like transitively give that to someone else and see them like grow even faster than when I did it myself. Watching you've grown very quickly. Yeah, seeing you take the tips that I give you and you just like take it on. But yeah, mentorship is something I don't take lightly. When you are starting out your career and you want to become great, like I need to see that like hunger. I'm learning too, right? Like I'm learning through teaching you. Like I'm like, oh, do I actually know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So for instance, like Siri, she has from the start always told us that she wanted to like run a firm. Well, if that is her dream goal, how does Hatch2O try to facilitate that? Let's try this out. Let's have you like run your own team. Ever mentoring anyone, it was more just like guidance. Mentor to me seems like such an official word. I saw a little bit of myself in her in terms of just like the personality type, the tenacity, and the determination, the mental toughness that she had. So I took her under my wing and taught her not just my technical techniques, but then also like the soft skills, like how you deal with clients.
When I look at who I'm going to ask to be my mentor or just who I want to emulate, I look at what they do. When I met you and read through the website really, and I saw like the thinking and the process that was just posted on Hatch2O website, I was like, that sounds like that resonated with me, that makes sense to me. Listening to you and Mike's like journey and story, being young, being kind of like the new kids, and just kind of fighting through all of that, like that just feels very right. Like I want to be like that. I want to be like you guys. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to try my best to like come here and stay.
No, you have that competitive spirit, but we choose to like stay together to build this thing that's ours, and Yeah, so very admirable.
Got a good mentor.
I remember when we first recruited you, like we were super excited. That was kind of around the time when Hatch Duo started to grow its team. We started to get larger projects. And that was around the time when like I still worked really closely with you guys too, like in terms of like design work. So I got a really good chance to mentor you too and see you grow. And you started as an industrial design intern and in just a matter of like 3 years now you've got promoted to a position where you're managing other designers.
I remember our interview when you asked like, what do you want to do 5-10 years from now? And my immediate answer, which actually might seem a little risky to say in front of like another firm owner, but I was like, I want to have my own practice. I want to just run my own thing. I just want to have that freedom to pick and choose because I do have a very specific niche of category that I want to be an expert in. And immediately you say, you know, if you do well and if you get to stay, then we'll make sure the training and the growth is catered toward that.
I'm going to try to guide you through it and you're going to get through it. It was really cool to see your skills just ramp up very quickly.
I have to remind myself very often to be open to that growth and just be excited for what someone else might bring up. You don't coddle me, you don't track my every move, and I still am able to grow. Hopefully make you proud.
Only sometimes though. Yeah. No, very, very proud of like where you're at, and you will surpass me one of these days too, and I'm very okay with that. It's like Star Wars, the Sith. The apprentice is always striving to, you know, hunger towards that. That's a good way to look at mentorship too, is like you want to like feed that hunger for them to like strive to be better than you. Hopefully when that happens then you just sit back and be cool, like taught or something. I'll just throw in a little plug. If you are looking for internships, I think Siri's looking for some interns, so send your portfolios her way. Thank you for watching, subscribe.
And hit like.
Yes, if they haven't already.
Let's hatch awesome.
Let's hatch awesome.
It's hilarious that it's been 3 years and this is the second time I've seen you face to face.
I graduated with a degree in studio art before at UC Irvine. I was in frats and stuff like that. That was a previous life. Big problematic rebel in the class, and I just didn't listen to instructions.
Hi.
Oh, jeez. HR.